It's March. Can you believe that? I don't know how it's possible that it feels like time is flying right now, but I guess I am keeping myself pretty busy with lots of paintings and my art classes and my art goals. And I'd love to catch you up on that today. Hey, welcome back to studio vlog number 6. It has been 3 weeks since my last studio vlog, and that means I have so much that I want to share with you. I actually had to write myself notes for this little intro because there's so much going on in this video. So you're in the right place if you want to hear a bit like an update on my goal progress for the year so far, my art goals. If you want to see quite a bit of prepping / planning and painting of watercolor paintings. I actually come up with a new pattern. It's like semi-complete, but I would love your input, your vote at the very end there. I'm also going to share a little bit of happy mail. So let's get right to it and hop into the first behind the scenes progress view of that very first watercolor painting. Wait. Before we jump into the content and really start today's video, this video is a little longer. And so make sure you're really comfortable, you're settled in, and if it does get a little too long for you, I have marked in the description below the different segments. So you can always jump around to those parts that interest you the most. I wanted to share a little bit what it looks like when I start making a pattern. So it is a lot of creative trial and error. If you look at this, I have lots of different layers where I'm basically copy pasting the same image that I've removed the background from. And yeah, then I just try to move them around. You can see I can highlight each of these little pieces and I just adjust the scale and move them around on the page and try to find an arrangement that I find visually pleasing. Now, this is definitely not it. I'm pulling all the little pieces that I have already painted that fit with like a kind of gardening spring theme. Well, really what I wanted was to do like forsythia or daffodils, but I think what I read about forsythia, that was the one, was that it doesn't attract bees at all. So I know probably no one except me is going to be reading into the pattern so deeply, but I want it to make sense. So for there to be some kind of plant that pollinators would actually be attracted to. So that one's out. That would have been awesome from a color perspective to have that like bright yellow like in the bee. So I'm going to do a little more research and then figure out what to do. I just did a long 5-minute explanation and I had it on time-lapse. I had my phone on time-lapse, not on video, so you have no idea what I was just saying. I'm going to give you a real quick summary. I have done some swatching of the watercolor pencils. This is my very favorite brand for watercolor pencils. What watercolor pencils mean is that you can use them as a regular colored pencil, but you can also add water and use them as a watercolor. So I really love that because it gives you very different kind of density of color and brightness of color. So these are really cool. These are my favorite, and I'm just coming up with a little well, I guess color palette here. Like I've decided to exclude 350 because it is way too vibrant. I wanted something that's a little more softer. And also, you know, struggling a little bit because I already have multiple shades of green. So adding another one is going to be kind of difficult. I also might remove the blue butterfly and include him in something else because I have a feeling it's not going to be super harmonious with the blue in there.
I have done a little research, gathered ideas on flowers that I like, that are, you know, seasonal spring flowers, and tried to find some that also actually attract pollinators, that attract bees. I'm going to choose just one to paint for now, which is going to be the Helleborus, because it's so detailed, it's so beautiful. I love them, and I've just wanted to paint one because it is kind of a challenge. So I'm going to start with that. And then the second thing I have to finish today is one scene, and that would be like a watering can, rain boots, and a shovel, which to me are kind of gardening icons, and this is coming from a non-gardener. So I hope the pattern makes sense. This took me forever, and I think I was able to get it out of the ugly stage, which, yeah, sometimes you're able to kind of recover and keep going with the layers in watercolor, and sometimes there's no getting out of the ugly stage. So it's okay. I don't know yet if I love them or I'm unhappy with them. I feel okay about them right now. I think it depends on how the other two paintings go. So yeah, I'm surprised by how long they took me and how much harder I found them than I thought they were going to be. I'm not super happy with the reflections of things, but yeah, maybe in combination with the other things, and especially the size, postcard size that those items will be on, they will look good. So I hope so. I'm gonna keep going. I think this watering can will be like a yellow, so that it goes, kind of picks up the yellow of the bees. Because I don't think I'm gonna do a yellow flower. I will do a flower that's more in line with this color. So the yellow has to pop up somewhere again. It'll be this watering can. But first, it is time for some dinner. I need a little break. Quick check-in. I have completed these 3 little drawings. Well, they need some digital editing, but I am happier with the direction of this because I think the boots work with the watering can and things. I think it's going to look better once I layer them together. So yeah, not too bad. One thing that I started looking into in these past weeks, let me actually grab this camera. It's a little crooked. I think that's good. Okay. So one of the things that I started looking into over the past couple of weeks was stickers. And as you know, I had been purchasing a few, and stickers were not something that were on my radar for, a few decades. I loved them as a kid, but then they hadn't really been a thing. But once I started following artists and illustrators, I sort of fell in love with them again, and just love the possibility of what you can design and how you can kind of share that beauty in one little format. You can put it in your planner. There are lots of options, and I just think it's a nice little idea to also offer them. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but I do want to, have my art for sale, not just the originals, but also, kind of the postcards that I've been working on. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to come up with lots of new patterns, and maybe some notebooks or, some other kind of stationery paper products, wrapping paper, just some ideas that are floating around in my head at this stage. And so one of the other things I wanted to check out was having stickers made out of my designs. I put up a little poll on Instagram, which I will blend in right here. There were actually 3 or 4 of them where I had like a this or that, pick which one you prefer. And out of all of those, I only picked one to get some test prints off of. So those are currently, well, they're not even in the mail yet. It's taking a bit of time for them to get printed, but I ordered like a teeny tiny number of test prints of the same image from 2 different companies on like 3 different papers, I think. And so the reason that I just wanted to mention this quickly is, you know, this will come in a future video once I have the actual stickers, but just really struck me how ecologically damaging stickers are. Once I started reading, especially about vinyl stickers and the microplastics that end up in, you know, our waterways, it was like, I cannot add to the problem. It's really important to me when I consider what kind of products I want to offer my art on, that, you know, I know there's probably no way to be like, you know, carbon neutral and like just basically have a leave no trace kind of impact. I think if you're creating something, there is always going to be that factor, but I want to do it in a way that is as ecologically friendly as, you know, the options that I can find. So I spent a lot of time researching, and I'll make a whole nother video on that once I have the stickers. I had also been thinking about getting like a silhouette machine. But yeah, what I'm finding actually is that a lot of the times the problem isn't so much the paper, although, you know, if it's coated or if it's vinyl, that is an issue, but it's more the adhesive, and that makes, you know, paper not recyclable and not compostable, and it's just really quite a problem. So I'm gonna stop with the topic for now because that is not the focus of today's video, but I did want to just kind of mention that I'm looking into those things, and I will share everything I do learn. It is a difficult topic to wrap your mind around. It is a difficult thing, I think, to find companies that offer stickers or other products that are more green than the standard, because there's also a lot of like greenwashing. I think my mind is kind of exploding with all the information there is, all the things that you need to think about if that is something important to you. But I'm really, really happy to be looking into it and to be getting some test prints, and I will share them with you as soon as I do have them. Because baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life. I thought you might want to know how my progress has been going for the year so far. It is already March. I don't know how that happened, but well, actually, I'm not sure if all of you know, but basically my goal was that I would have 1 YouTube video a week that I would produce, and it would go live. And, you know, ideally I would be sticking not only to once a week, but like a specific day at a specific time, right? That is the target. That is my big kind of reach goal. And then also I wanted to have 2 patterns that I finished every single month. For each of those, I would have to probably do like 4+ good paintings. So not necessarily 4 paintings, but 4 paintings I actually want to use. And then based on that, I wanted to post to Instagram like semi-frequently. I think like 2 or 3 feed posts a week, and some stories. Well, stories are easy. And some reels. Yeah, I wanted to try reels. So that's kind of everything that was my big, you know, oh, if I could do this, then I would move towards, you know, some of the results that I'm hoping come from that, which is to, you know, be able to start building a community on Instagram, and to, you know, be able to have more exposure, have more people see my work, because I really want to be able to share my artwork. So that does mean, you know, yes, followers on Instagram and subscribers on YouTube, but it also means, you know, just having that engagement, kind of starting to get to know people. And there's all these, you know, incredible pieces. And of course, for the patterns, the goal is to be able to build a portfolio, and then, for example, to be able to print it on some of those products that I mentioned. So Well, how's that going? I mean, semi good. It's definitely not going at the rate that I wanted to. And I'm talking about the actual production of the things that I wanted to create. So let's see, I think I should be at like video 9 or 10 if I'm truly going week by week. And I'm at this is video, let's see, I think the 6th video of the year. So, I mean, that's better than 50%, but it's definitely not, getting that home run of what I was trying to do. But I feel okay about that. I want to be able to do more, and I hope I do get more into a groove, and maybe I can even work ahead and get some things recorded so that you have like a very predictable, regular schedule of when my videos come. But right now it is still a little intermittent. But I think, like 6 videos in about 10 weeks, that's not too bad, right? So hopefully it is entertaining to you. And well, I'll try to get caught up, but most importantly, I think for me is just to not stop. So even if once in a while I miss a week, it's not ideal and I wish I could do better than that. But for me, the key is to not give up. And I'm really happy that I am making these videos for you. And if you are enjoying them, please give me a little thumbs up on the video so that I know, whether a video is working or not. So, okay, so that's kind of on the video front. And then on the pattern front, it's worse. It's worse. Out of I think I should be on pattern. I should have 4 complete and be on pattern number 5 right now. So remember, that's 4+ paintings per pattern. And I've finished 2. And one of them is in this video and it's not really done. I'm going to have to go and redo some of that. So that's definitely going slower than I planned. And I think the reason for that is that I am also enrolled in, for example, the Immersion course. I was enrolled in the Make Art That Sells course. There's a lot of other things where I have homework and other challenges. Sometimes I think I do too much at once and it doesn't allow me to focus, but I'm going to keep moving. And I hope within the next week or 2 to have the next pattern done as well. And then to be able to fix this one as well this week. So, won't quite catch up, but I do have kind of bits and pieces of patterns already done. So hopefully it'll kind of speed up here in the next few weeks. And yeah, I mean, Instagram's the same, right? If I don't have anything actually painted, then I can't share it there. So that hasn't been going that well with doing multiple posts a week, but I have, done a few stories. Well, actually I've done a lot of stories, a few reels, and actually, from the Instagram and the YouTube side, what I'm really happy with is that I feel like my goals are still, I'm moving towards them anyway, because remember I said I was going to put down, here's what I want to do, because this is what I control, and then here's the outcome, which I can't control. Here's my real goal, what I'm going for. And so actually I've been moving towards that quite well. My growth has been good. I've been able to connect with people. People have been engaging on my posts. And so, even YouTube has set out my videos a little more. So I feel like it's still working. And I think it would work that much better if I was even more consistent and were creating more content. But I'm really happy because I do feel like this is kind of a sustainable state. I can stretch a little, but this is also kind of what I can do and, stay happy while doing it. So yeah, that's just kind of what I thought was a long update, but is kind of what I thought was a short update, but ended up being kind of a long update. But I thought you'd be interested to know, and I would love to know, of course, how your first literally 2 months of the year have gone. It's March. So let me know in the comments if you are on track for, not your New Year's resolutions, but the targets you set for yourself and your artwork. I would love to hear how it's going. Oh, should have checked my notes because I had one more little thing. Oh, this is all crooked again. I don't know. It's a weird angle. Okay, so one little tiny thing that I wanted to mention is that even though I haven't been able to meet my kind of stretch goals that I had planned in December, January, I did get into the habit, and this has also helped me with some consistency on Instagram, to write down every week, 3 little steps that I took to move me forward. So, maybe it should have been like a whole video a week and X posts and blah, 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 7 hours in my class, and I didn't hit those, but it doesn't mean that I didn't do 3 large or small things to move forward and to stay consistent and to grow. And so I'm going to share a few examples of what that looked like. I hope this pointing thing is going to work. It makes sense while I'm recording it, but maybe here? Anyway. I've really found that this is something that is helpful for me to see the big picture, because I save them as a highlight and then I can look back week to week, I did do that and I updated my website and I did this and I did that. And so it is really motivating for myself, and also just, kind of gets me to the point where I don't want to break the pattern, the streak. Okay, you've gone for X weeks posting something. That means, you have to have actually done something. So I mean, it's not that simple. Of course, I'm doing things anyway, but it is really nice to see it over time and to be able to share it. And not that many people have used the template, but I have had a few. And if one of them is you, thank you. It means so much that you would kind of engage in what I'm trying to build there, because I love knowing what you're up to. And I think it's so great if we can all keep that top of mind, that we are doing stuff, and to encourage ourselves to do a few things a week and to keep moving. I know some people say do something daily. Yes, that would be even better. But honestly, it doesn't 100% happen for me. And sometimes I will kind of bundle things and do them, for example, on a Saturday or Sunday. So that's why I do the 3 things a week that, allow me to grow and allow me to move forward. And I would love it if you want to use the template as well. You can go into my highlights and save off the blank template, take a print screen, and then tag me if you want to participate. I always, share what you're up to on your art journey if you tag me. So yeah, I'm feeling good about that. And I hope you enjoy that little concept as well. It is the next morning, Monday morning, and yes, I am sitting in bed. This is how far I got yesterday. I am loving some parts, not loving some other parts. What you'll notice is right now I'm experimenting with a different background color. I'm not sure if it's going to be this one. I'm just kind of clicking through options, and I want to offer that as kind of a poll on Instagram to see if you all want me to consistently stick with a stark white background, which I think is very clean. Or, if you like to have some color mixed in as well. So that's kind of the first question. What you'll see is that on the bees, I've put them in the pattern, but because I didn't clean them up closely before I put them in, it's not going to work with a different background color unless I clean each of these up. So I'll probably take them all out entirely, clean up one copy, and then copy paste that in everywhere. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, because I really do like that kind of little scene that I've created. But I wanted the yellow to be more of an accent color that picks up the yellow of the bees. In my original version, the bees were much smaller too. But so I feel like between these 2 large items, it's really yellow and purple. The yellow is just the one that really sticks out the most. And I wanted it to be a very green pattern. So yeah, I'm not sure this is even close to my final version. You can also see this little guy, I just had a hole because the pattern is not super consistent yet. So yeah, I just kind of need to figure out where to go from here. Anyway, I'm really having fun with it, even though it's not perfect yet. I am just enjoying playing with it and, making all these separate little paintings. So yay!
So while I get started on this last painting for the pattern and for the video today, I thought I'd share some of the other stuff that has been going on. So one of the things that kicked off this past week was the very much anticipated Immersion course by Bonnie Christine. If you missed my last studio vlog, you probably missed that I am starting that course. It'll teach me how to, well, I guess, at least give me a foundation of how to use Adobe Illustrator and how to create true repeat patterns. So I'm really excited, and I had this goal of doing 7 hours each week. I did feel a little under the weather, had some work stuff pop up, so even the first week I'm not on track. I only did 3. But fortunately there was actually a period in the course that's built in to catch up. So I'm still in good spirits and I am loving it. It is so interesting.
This is how far I got with the watercolor, and I am not even remotely happy with this flower. I really don't like it. Let me get in a little closer for you here. Yeah, there's a lot of detail, but it's just not working. I don't think this is a good painting. So what that means is that I'm going to try to take this into digital post-production and see if I can make it look any better in Procreate. I hope so, because I really don't want to start from the top. So that went well. It didn't, but well, basically what happened is I completely overworked that flower painting. I was kind of insecure about it to begin with. It was a stretch for me. I want to do more botanical watercolor, and it is an incredible level of detail that I want to capture, and it's also a different way of seeing that I'm kind of still learning as I go to notice all the different textures and shading and everything that's happening as I'm looking at the flower. And so, well, in this example, it didn't go very well. And I think it's kind of rough, because when you say, you know, maybe you just have 1 or 2 days a week that you're going to be able to focus on your artwork, and then you sit there for whatever, I don't know how many hours that took me, like 4 hours, 6 hours, something like that, like the better part of a day. And then it kind of amounts to nothing you like. It's a bummer. But it is part of that artistic process, right? Not every single painting, not every single sketch, not every single thing you're going to create is going to be, you know, something that blows you out of the water in the sense that it's the best thing you've ever done. I love those moments. I love when I paint something and I can't believe that I did that, because it is really good. But you know, I have those opposite scenarios too, where I look at this and I think, like, this is how I painted a year or 2 ago. It looks like I've made no progress. This is not a good painting. I can do so much better. And it's a little frustrating. And especially it's frustrating when it was kind of like, looks like it's going to work out, but then you don't stop when you should, and you overwork it and you add too many layers and it gets muddy, and it's a lost cause. You can't fix it, because that one I was not able to fix digitally. So, well, you win some, you lose some. I think that's so key to remember. Also for myself, note to self, it's hard sometimes to just accept that, yeah, you could sit here all day and end up with nothing kind of for your portfolio or whatever goal you're going with. In this case, for me, it was to get another pattern for a postcard done. And even though I invested a lot of time, it's not really done. So I will show you what I did do. And I did include the flower for now, and, you know, kind of posted it on Instagram because I wanted to see what everyone thought. And I'm also going to ask you that in a second. But I will have to redo it. I have decided I want to redo. I might even do a totally different flower, but I will repaint the flower. It's going to take me another probably half a day to do. And I also will likely completely rearrange the pattern. It's just not, like, I look at it and it's okay, but it's not my best work. And I only really want to print my very best work. So this one, not ready to get printed. But I will show you because I thought it was kind of cool. On Instagram, I had like a little poll going on in the post where I shared the pattern. And I will show you different options. And basically I had people vote which one they liked most. You probably know from my artwork so far, I've always, pretty much always used a stark white background. And I love the look. I think it's so clean. It's really beautiful and classic to me. I love it. But I just want to kind of get a feel, you know, especially when I look at wrapping paper and other things, it's not all just like a white background, what other people liked. So I tried a few different color options for the background, and it was really interesting to see what people picked. So I will not actually tell you what people voted for on Instagram because I'd love your opinion here as well. If you are interested, then make sure to follow me on Instagram because I will announce kind of the winner. Once I redesign, once I repaint the flower and get it printed, you'll be able to see which color I picked in the end. But yeah, do please give me a vote. I'll pop them up again here with a little number. Please do let me know. You can literally just say 1 or 3. It doesn't have to be more, but of course I would love to know more. If you do want to explain kind of why you loved that one, that would be really fascinating to know as well. So thank you. I really do appreciate your input. It's time to open a tiny little package, some happy mail from Leaf Lane Studio. I think I mentioned her, yes, definitely, in the last studio vlog. I mentioned her because she also has a YouTube channel, which is how I originally found her, and then I discovered her shop, and yeah, it was kind of a love at first sight for her artwork and just her, yeah, energy. I mean, I'm really enjoying her content and her artwork. So I did place a little order. Aw, thank you for your order and for supporting my small business. You all know I really, really enjoy these little thank you cards. They always feel so heartfelt when they're coming from a designer, an artist, an illustrator directly. Oh, sorry, my voice is, I don't know, struggling today. But yeah, so you can find her at Leaf Lane Studio on the web as well as on Instagram. This is just so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. I don't really want to unpack it, but I will. Look at this. Oh, I'm so happy with it. So I'll open it. It is a sticker and a little print or card, and compostable, biodegradable, recyclable, bio-based film. I'm going to keep this. I want to look this up because that's a really important touch, I think. All right, so we have this amazing sticker. Life is beautiful, and isn't it just life and this sticker? I really love this. You know I love nature and florals in particular, so this is really pretty. And then this is really why I placed an order to begin with, because if you follow me on Instagram, you saw I posted something recently about this card and about the concept in general, how this saying also goes, in my opinion, for artwork and your art journey of improving there. So it says here, the day you plant the seed is not the day the flowers bloom. Isn't that just the most beautiful sentiment and card? I really love this. This will definitely go up on my little gallery wall or inspire me on my art desk. And well, you know this gallery wall that I'm talking about doesn't exist yet, but I'm collecting the items for it, and this is definitely one of them. So I wanted to share a tiny bit more about the Bonnie Christine immersion class. I really wish I had been able to invest the amount of time I wanted to for the first week, because the content is stellar. It is really a technical focus. I think a lot of the kind of art and illustration classes I have taken so far have been more focused on, you know, the artistic side of things, which is, I think, what you would expect. But I'm so glad that in this first week, it has been a real focus on like technical components of Adobe Illustrator. And I am so much at the very start. I didn't get through the first week. And, you know, I'm literally talking about like opening the program, adding files, I don't know, being able to rotate something that you have pasted in. I mean, it really, I'm not talking any kind of advanced level in the little 3 hours that I have been able to invest so far. But I'm really happy that she starts with that focus, because I think you need to have a certain basis to even consider the artistic components. And that's always what has held me back from Adobe Illustrator, is having that learning curve at the front and not being able to figure out, you know, how would I learn that? So I'm really grateful to be in the course so far, but I can't say that much since, you know, I've only spent 3 hours on it. So hopefully in future studio vlogs, you will see more, because it is an 8-week course, I believe. But one other thing that's been really incredible about it has been the community. So there's like a little Instagram group that has formed. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of students are taking this simultaneously. It's huge and it's easy to get lost, but you get a peer group assigned, and there's like another kind of informal peer group that I was invited to that form that's smaller. And so it's really beautiful. That is always one of my very favorite parts, and I so encourage you, if you have the opportunity to connect with fellow artists, you know, whether that's here on my channel in the comments or that's over on Instagram, I mean, wherever you feel most comfortable. But to me, that peer group and also the Gingerbread peer group, they are so critical. And I'm not saying critical of me, they're critical for kind of my emotional path through this art journey, because I think it's so just nourishing. I think that's the word I would use. It's nourishing to have other people that are going through the same thing. Some are much more advanced than you are. Some are kind of a few steps behind maybe where you've gotten to in this journey. But everyone has value to add. Everyone has lessons learned. Everyone has little tips and tricks that the others don't know. And it's really great to kind of see everyone go through the emotional highs and lows and be able to relate to someone who's, you know, trying to get the same things done. And so I really, really appreciate that about this course as well. It's an incredibly welcoming community, and I'm really enjoying it so far.